Well, Vice President Šefčovič, very much welcome in the Florence School of Regulation. I think it's the only interview in history where former commissioner of the EU has a chance to interview the current commissioner or vice president of the European Commission. You are responsible for Energy Union, and it's a rather complex enterprise, and 2016 is the year of delivery. How do you feel? Confident how things are going, or what challenges you have in front of you? So please, Vice President, could you describe the situation?
Yeah. I know that we in Europe go through very turbulent times, but I'm very glad that I'm responsible for the project which we can really describe as a good story, because the Energy Union was formed under the consideration how to better align our energy policies, how to overcome the traditional look at the energy in that narrow sense, how we produce energy, how we distribute it, how we consume it. And we realized in Europe, and it was very well reflected in our Energy Union project, that we need to actually combine all these policies together: energy, climate change, decarbonization of transport, much more energy efficient buildings, and much more assertive energy diplomacy. And we actually have very good, very ambitious project team, 13 commissioners helping me to deliver on the Energy Union. And despite of all that turbulency in the European Union, I'm very glad to say that we are on track, we are on time, and this year would be the year of delivery, so we'll put on the table 90% of what we promised we would do under the umbrella of this project. And what I also would like to add is the fact that I completed my Energy Union tour, so I visited all member states, and I have to say that I feel support for this project from the citizens, from the stakeholders, from the governments. And I know that it's much easier to support something which is presented as a big project, but now we are going to the nitty-gritty details, and that would be, of course, much more demanding, and therefore I think we need to cultivate the public opinion to continuously support this project.
And the first package on energy security measures, how it is received? Because on intergovernment agreements, you go very far.
Yeah.
Well, if I would be in your shoes, I would say, well, to expect that member states will be happy about it, it's a bit too strong statement.
I think that we deliberately proposed something very ambitious, and we clearly felt that this was what the European heads of states and government wanted from us, because it's very truly reflected in the European Council conclusions of the last year. But I agree with you that it's a very ambitious proposal. As we already felt that national reflexes are very strong, and the first reaction from the working group clearly indicated the negotiations would not be the easiest one. But at the same time, we feel very strong support from the European Parliament. I was very much encouraged also by the clear statement of the European Council from March, which welcomed our proposal, and which was encouraging us to deliver on all these proposals on time. So it's not for the first time when we see that the leaders have a little bit more strategic, cross-cutting view, and I understand that on the level of experts that they very much want to make sure that every single national position is properly explained and defended. But I hope that in the end we will find a good compromise, because what we want to achieve is actually stronger position of Europe and better energy security for all EU member states.
Usually the controversy is on the gas, because everything else is seen as a more technical, technocratic, less interesting from media point of view. There have been a long story when I asked even start with Southern Gas Corridor. Yeah. So I recently heard Gazprom Chief Executive Officer saying, well, they talked so long, nothing is happening, we need to take everything in our own hands. How is going this Southern Gas Corridor? Are you confident that we will have gas from this?
I think the Southern Gas Corridor is actually going very well. I mean, it's I think one of the biggest projects in the world, which is currently under construction. The investment of more than $45 billion, the pipelines stretching over 3,000 kilometers, bringing the gas from Caspian Basin to Europe. It's really the project which is very ambitious, and of course it's being built under the period of very low prices for gas and oil. So it puts additional pressures on the consortium, but we just had our advisory council on the level of ministers in Baku, and I was very much encouraged that the resolve is clearly there. And I think because of the current situation, there is strong pressure to complete the project even before the schedule, because the consortium is very well aware that every delay would lead to additional cost overruns, and they very much want to complete it on time. So I believe that by 2020 we will have the Caspian gas in Europe, but we have also to be very careful that not only the Asian part is built, but that we would also deliver on all necessary complementary projects in Europe to make sure that all the routing, all the interconnectors, landing point in Italy, that all these problems are resolved, and we are working very intensely with our European member states to make sure that everything is done on time.
On gas, the biggest political controversy, at least from media point, also from member countries' point of view, where they are very much divided, is Nord Stream 2. So I know that the process is still running. You have made your speech in Parliament. Yeah. But in brief, how you feel about this project? What are your expectations? How we should deal with this proposal?
I think that this project really raises a lot of concerns, and it led to quite intense political debate. I think it is one of the most debated energy projects on all the political levels, from the head of state and government down to the experts, and it just reflects the importance this project has, and impact it might have on the overall gas balance situation in Europe. Therefore, I think from the Commission side, it's very important to make sure that this project is built in a way that would be fully in line with the EU law, that we, of course, would look after the interests of all EU member states, because it's in our interest to increase the energy security of all member states, not just the few, and that we have very clear position on the future of the transit through Ukraine, because I think we are investing enormous efforts, and we are providing a lot of financial assistance to help these countries to overcome current difficult situation. And I think that preservation of the transit through Ukraine is very important, not only for this country, but for overall balance in the Central and Eastern Europe.
Vice President, thank you very much for this interview. Rain is starting, and we have conference on external dimension of energy union. Thank you for answering the questions, and good luck with your speech during the opening of the conference.
And I really would like to thank you for inviting me to this beautiful city and to this excellent school, and looking very much forward to our discussion.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.